I do not consent.
I do not consent to being governed.
I do not consent to being locked down, shut down, quarantined.
I do not consent to living under any form of medical martial law.
I do not consent to being forcibly tested or vaccinated for any illnesses, real or perceived.
I do not consent to the use of any surveillance technology, especially biometric scanning.
I do not consent to 5G, airport scanners, or any other form of millimeter wave technology
originally developed for use in weapons systems.
I do not consent to the Internet of Things, smart grid, cashless society, social credit system, surveillance state, or any other aspects known or unknown about the imminent technocratic and totalitarian New World Order control system.
I do not consent to being stopped, searched, or otherwise harassed by indoctrinated robots of the state wearing badges and costumes.
I do not consent to the false axiom that those in uniform have a higher claim on my life, liberty, and property than I do.
I do not consent to perpetually living under duress,
the constant fear of being harmed or caged for noncompliance by those who claim to be protecting me and my freedoms.
I do not consent to being restricted from traveling across inherently free land.
I do not consent to following orders which prevent me from living in harmony with the earth.
I do not consent to any actions which cause harm to another sentient being, even if they are taken by a perceived authority.
I do not consent to legal tender laws that require a centrally issued and controlled instrument of debt to be used as currency.
I do not consent to taxation or theft of the product of anyone's labor.
I do not consent to forfeiting my essential liberty in exchange for temporary security.
I do not consent to mainstream media and their puppets constantly pushing lies, propaganda, and false narratives.
I do not consent to the overreaching, all-encompassing form of modern slavery engulfing us all.